And I'm not saying I support Andrew Lloyd Webber like he's the greatest thing that... No, he's definitely not my favorite composer's playwright.
He's really not.
No.
Or Andrew Lloyd Webber.
He was like, I would say he's a very reliably like, oh, this is fine kind of composer. Like Phantom of the Opera, fine. Enjoyable. You know, Jesus Christ Superstar, fine. Joseph Technicolor Dreamcoat, fine. Nothing like, oh, I'm transcended by his wordplay or anything, but it's all perfectly serviceable. Cats, let's not even go there.
Absolute horror show.
Yeah, right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Book Retorts. I'm Danielle.
I'm Sam.
And this is a podcast where one of us explains a weird piece of media to the other who has no experience with it.
That's me, Danielle. I'm like a brand new kitchen sponge. You gotta let me soak in that water of weirdness before you scrub the pans with me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Look,
Spring cleaning metaphor.
Sure. Yes, that was my intention. I didn't just do my dishes before starting this.
As our listeners know, we are in the middle of an epic saga of I Can Hear Your Voice. Okay, I just forgot the name of what we're doing, but I hear your voice.
I've heard it both ways.
Actually, I have two because, titles are interchangeable with translations. Yeah. So 2013 Korean drama, which means Sam has heard about what we're talking about today. But do you remember what happened in the last episode, Sam? Because I surely don't.
I do, but my problem is, Danielle, I have lost the ability to discern which was the previous episode and which was the first episode. So it's all run together in my head into one mess. I still remember one person's name, which is Soo Ha. So
that's totally fair.
I don't know why his name sticks in my head and why no one else's name sticks in my head.
I had to look up the police officer, lawyer's name like 8 times. I was just not even by the end of my notes. I was like, what's his name? Kwon Woo.
Kwon Woo, there it is.
Yeah,
I knew it was Woo in there. All right, well, let's see if I can remember. Okay, I'm not going to do this in the right order because there's like 4 different things happening simultaneously in these in the show that don't like really depend on each other in any like time dependent way.
Fair.
So I'm just going to talk about the plots that I remember, regardless of when they happened. So we left off at the first episode on a cliffhanger with the bullied girl who fell out of a window, and they managed to convince her to come clean that she was, in fact, smoking near the window when she fell out and wasn't pushed by the bully girl.
Sure, yeah.
Right? That's what happened.
Yes, that was what happened.
Okay, good. All right, I didn't make it.
Actually, no, Sam.
Well, maybe. You sound very unconvinced.
I was just thinking, was any of the other stuff important that you left out of there? But no, it's not. Carry on.
Yeah. For some reason, smoking because she wants to be an idol was a big deal and yada, yada, yada. It doesn't really matter. The point is there was a hilarious loophole. They're like, oh, someone who's under 17 can't be prosecuted for perjury. And I'm like, well, that seems like a pretty big loophole.
It's like 15, I think. Not that it matters.
Whatever.
I'll let the facts give away the good story, Danielle.
Yeah, never do. The point is, they won the case and they stuck it to the mean girl with the bottle rocket thing, the bottle rocket adventure.
Yes, the Do Young.
Do Young, that's her. They stuck it to Do Young because psychics beat lawyers, I guess, in this rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, prosecutors.
Psychics beat prosecutors. Where do lizards and wizards fit into this Rochambeau?
Lizards beat wizards.
Yes. Do wizards beat psychics?
Maybe.
Okay, well, questions that are too big for us to answer on this podcast.
We're going to have to map that out to see.
Yeah, we're going to have to do a whole chart.
I would play that game though. That sounds fun.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, that all happened. They won the first case. Huzzah!
Hurrah! Didn't see that coming at all.
You're right. And I don't know when this happened. I was going to say it. The basketball hooligans returned, which I loved.
Oh, yes. Our favorite part. Unfortunately, now that I think about it, they are not in these episodes that I'm going on now, which is a real disappointment. No, I'm sorry not to spoil that for you.
Don't even bother. I'm leaving. I'm done with this podcast.
I could just throw them in just randomly.
I don't believe it. You didn't say they showed up to harass them for 3 minutes and left. Like, yeah, that tracks. That sounds like the basketball hooligans.
I'd forgot about them until you said it.
Yeah, they came back and they were trying to track down Soo Ha. Mm-hmm. What's her name?
Are you talking about Hye Seong?
Yeah, that's one. Hye Seong, that's her. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Soo Ha. Our main character, Hye Seong.
Well, one of our main characters, please. I remember the psychic name.
Yeah, I guess he's also a main character.
Thank you, Danielle. I'll take that. I need what I can get from this. Hye Seong, they try to track her down because like days earlier she kicked their basketball and they were incensed about it. And they beat up Soo Ha because he was like trying to be chivalrous and like defend her honor and whatever. Anyway, but they were too afraid to fight him the last time they encountered him, but this time they were fine with it. So I don't know what's going on with them. And I guess I'll never find out.
That's true.
Which is upsetting to me on so many levels. All right. So anyway, the murderer, he's back. He's working at a soup kitchen. Right?
Yeah. He has like 6 different volunteer jobs or something, but yes, that is one of them.
And Soo Ha gets a job there too to like keep tabs on him and very immediately gets found out because he is not slick.
It literally lasts like 15 minutes in the episode or something.
He basically walked up to him and was like,
bad.
Hey, did you murder my father? He's like, oh yeah, I did. Let's go. There's a whole scene at a restaurant where he like completely plays Soo Ha by like only thinking to him and not saying anything. It makes Soo Ha fly off the handle and like get arrested for trying to attack him and makes him look really bad.
I feel like your summary makes 0 sense if you have not listened to the previous episode. So I would recommend everybody listening to the previous episodes because none of that made sense.
But it all happened and it was all correct. Our summaries aren't stipulated as making sense. They are stipulated as what was happened in the previous episode, and that's what happened. You make sense of it. That's not my problem.
That's true.
Right? All right.
We don't guarantee that things make sense. In fact, the opposite is true.
Usually, yes. All right. That's what happened, Danielle. I don't know what else you want to say. Anyway, he gets arrested. Hye Seong bails him out. He like starts staying with her, crashes at her place because
Safety
because
numbers.
of this, but should have been happening earlier. It's like she finds a phone in her closet that was planted by the murderer guy who's been like calling her to like spook her out. Like, oh, there's a phone ringing in your apartment. Because I've been in there, and her like door is busted open because Soo Ha ran back up there to like save her when he realized that oh no, the murderer was in her apartment, but they're fine.
That's when he got beat up by the basketball players.
Yeah. Again, I told you it wasn't going to be in the right order.
I was just clarifying for people listening to this very haphazard summary.
If they want clarity, they can listen to the previous episode, and even if that doesn't help, they can watch the series themselves, all right?
That's true.
I promise no clarity. Anyway, so then he, like, doesn't initially stay with her. She's like, get out. But then after she bails him out of jail, he stays with her, and he's, like, horrified that she's an actual woman and not some perfect princess on a pedestal. Woo.
That's true, because he's had a crush on her for a very long time.
Again, that's the first episode. We're not talking about that.
It's a mind crush. We're like 6 or 7, 8 episodes into the series by now.
That's the first episode of ours about this, I mean.
I'm just letting you know that, like, we've established their relationship, so It's okay for him to have a crush, I guess.
I mean, I'm still thinking he can have a crush, but she definitely doesn't reciprocate, which is great.
She definitely does not at this point.
I don't like that. don't say at this point.
I don't remember how it ends. I already told you I don't know who she ends up with. This is a mystery to me, too.
All right. I'm going to skip to, like, the actual meat of this, which is the new case. The new case is twins with a murderous rap sheet, because there's some extremely contrived situation where these 2 identical twins, they robbed a convenience store, and then one of them stabbed the store owner, and there was a lot of confusion about, like, if they were either blaming each other or trying to cover for each other, but the point is there's a lack of clarity on which one did the stab and then which one was the bystander, the accomplice.
She tried to stop them.
Yeah. And so anyway, apparently, I forgot the guy's name again. Not John Woo.
Kwan Woo? Kwan Woo.
Kwan Woo, yes, thank you.
Woo.
They're not the same person. Sorry. Is Kwan Woo and Hye Seong have been given the case. Each one of them is representing one of the twins. And they're like, well, just pick one of them randomly to be the guilty one. We'll see how that plays out. And again, Do Young is prosecuting because there's only one prosecutor in the entire nation of Korea, apparently.
Yeah, you will see in this episode how true that really is.
One prosecutor, one judge.
I have thoughts.
We'll get there, I'm sure. Anyway, the point is, there was a bunch of BS argument back and forth about, you can't know who the real murderer is. Well, you can't know that one of them didn't murder, so you gotta jail them both. No, you gotta let them both go free. And it looks like Hye Seong and Kwan Woo are winning. And the last thing we had was when the 2 brothers were put into the back of the police car to go back to jail after the end of the first day of litigation, there was mysterious and conspiratorial smiles on their faces.
Yes, that sums it up more or less.
I mean, was there any really important... so one more thing. The murderer is also now, has tracked down Hye Seong's mom at the restaurant and is...
that's an important point to note for this episode.
Yep. And he's either going to go work for her or kidnap her or something. But I think he's going to work for her and try to get in close to Hye Seong.
And then I think it's worth noting that the finale right before the smile on the bus was with the twins, was her being like, my whole life, I don't know why I decided to become a lawyer, but now I know it's to screw over Do Young.
Which is quite the motivation.
Myself for my childhood trauma, and she's always wrong and I'm always right. And Soo Ha is like, but what if you're not right? That's how it ended.
Also, usually the motivation goes from, revenge drives me to revenge is a bad motivation. And this is the exact opposite, which is, I don't really have motivation until I had revenge. And now I have a reason to exist.
Choices were made for character development. Why not have it be revenge? She got into a law profession. But again, then I guess at the beginning she wouldn't have been so blasé about her career because she would have been striving to become a defense attorney. Anyway,
I'm sorry that made no sense, but I think
but I'll fill in anything you need to know.
I hit the details. The ones that are important. The basketball hooligans, super important.
Yes, even if they don't appear in these next 3 episodes.
I don't want to hear it. Lie to me.
Anyway, we cut back. We're right back in the scene. Back with Soo Ha. He's like, but what if your whole premise for this case is wrong and Do Young is right because the twins planned out this murder and are joint conspirators? And she's like, no! And he tries to talk Hye Seong into doing the right thing, but she's mad that it'll look bad in front of Do Young and storms off. And there's a whole scene where she comes to terms with this, blah, blah, blah. She decides that she's going to do the right thing. That's what's important about this. She's decided that she's going to prove that they both murdered the store owner, even though she's supposed to be the lawyer for one of them, which seems pretty sketch if you ask me.
Here's the thing about being a lawyer. It doesn't matter if you know your client is guilty, you still have to defend them to your best of your ability. That's the whole premise of an adversarial justice system.
Well, you'll have questions by the end of this episode.
Right. Even if you as a lawyer, obviously you can't commit a crime with your client or anything like that, but if you're defending them for a crime, you have to defend them to the best of your ability, regardless of whether you think they're innocent or not. That is not you don't have to believe they're innocent. That's not a prerequisite for defending somebody. If that was, the system wouldn't work.
Yeah, if she should have been a prosecutor if she cared this much.
Yes, there you go.
So the next day, or later, she talks to Gwan-woo, trying to convince him that the twins are in it together. And he's like, no, I can't hear you. We can't talk anymore because our twins are against each other now. They're not we're not working on the case together. And so
also,
wanders off.
Their lawyers. We have to defend them.
And so back at home, she the day ends, she goes home. She's talking to Soo Ha, who tells her that Do Young has been questioning whether to ask Hye Seong for help. He used his mind powers to overhear her thinking this. And she's reticent.
So Do Young is like, I gotta ask Hye Seong, my rival, for help in prosecuting her clients?
Yeah, she's wondering if maybe she can get Hye Seong on her side to maybe get them both in jail.
That's, yes, she can, but also that's not how it should work. Again.
No, it's not, which we will get into in this episode.
That would be a mistrial of the highest order. If the defender and the prosecutor were colluding.
Only if people find out about it, Sam. Okay, let's get into this.
Oh, no! What judicial malpractice.
We will get into it.
I'm so angry about the ethics of this.
So Hye Seong is like I said, she's reticent. She doesn't necessarily want to do this, but Soo Ha steals her phone and texts Do Young to meet up with her. So Do Young and her meet up the next day. They meet up at the crime scene, so the store where the owner was murdered.
Are they investigating too?
Well, no, they're not investigating, but I think Do Young's trying to make her feel guilty. Here's his wife with their 3 kids,
Okay, yeah, sure.
And Do Young tells her that she has a plan, and she's like, I'll tell you what the plan is, and then the camera cuts out, of course. And we see Gwan-woo coming up the sidewalk looking very questioningly at the two of them, why are they chatting right now? That's weird.
If I were him, I would be incensed about your ostensible
No, he's not,
partner.
because he's this optimistic little tiny baby lamb, and he's like, oh, it just she's so passionate about her job now that she's out there at 7 o'clock in the morning talking to
I'm saying not that. No, I say, once it comes out that his co-counsel completely backstabbed him and threw their clients under the bus. Like, I'm not saying yay murderers, let them all go free, but I am saying you need to do your job right if you're going to be a lawyer. Like, and this is the thing.
You think he'd be mad, but you'll find out whether he is or not.
I know he's not going to be, and I think it's wrong.
So back at the jail, she is chatting with her twin, Hye Seong, and she's giving him two options. She's like, okay, you can pick between confessing and not confessing. And he's like, I'm gonna choose not confessing.
What a bad lawyer.
And she tells him, she's like, no, listen to the option. She goes, if you confess, you're still going to get off. She said the evidence that links them to the case will just disappear. And without evidence, you can't be guilty, even if you say you are guilty.
What? Are they going to tamper with evidence?
Yeah, maybe. He's like, I don't understand how that's going to get me a not guilty verdict. And she quotes some criminal code that always like flashes up on the screen and it like tells you what some of the words mean or whatever, which is funny. And
guarantee it's all wrong. It's not true or misinterpreted grossly.
Who knows? See, she goes, if the only evidence is the defendant's confession, then the defendant must be found not guilty.
What?
But
no. What?
Yeah, because it's just like the person saying, it's apparently, I was like, that makes zero sense. But they explain later that it's in case like a cop or whatever
coerces
them
a
to,
confession.
coerces them. So it's like, if there's literally no evidence, then it doesn't, if we can like just dissuade the judge that there's no evidence in the case, them saying they're guilty doesn't matter.
So let me understand this rule correctly. Because I'm not against the idea of confessions not being held against somebody, especially if they were coerced or, and there are lots of terrible tactics that are used. So I'm not getting into that. But like, their idea is, okay, no evidence, confession, go scot-free. Confession plus even the tiniest bit of like, oh, there is a bead here that matches something that they might have worn once in their life. Done. Guilty.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes.
I should be a way to invalidate someone's confession, not necessarily like just discount all confessions all the time, but like you have to prove that confession was obtained legally.
It's just wiped away. It's clean slate if there's no evidence.
That's crazy sauce.
But they say that if there's two people being tried, so these like weird dual trials that they've been doing.
This can't be real.
So if the defendant is like considered not guilty, even if they say that they are, then the one who doesn't confess is considered guilty. And the twin's like, there is no evidence tying my brother to the crime. And she's like, your confession becomes the evidence. So that confession can play into it. Yeah. If he says, yeah, we both committed the murder or whatever, then the brother would go to jail and he would be free because there's no evidence to say that he did it.
So if there's no evidence against either of them, and I just, like I say, you and me, Danielle, we're in this together. We're Thelma and Louising this, all right? And we get caught instead of driving off the cliff for whatever reason. And I say, oh yeah, it was totally me and Danielle, we did it. There's no evidence that points at me directly, or either of us. Like, both of us have no evidence.
Yeah, the evidence just, like, wiped clean.
And you say, no, he's lying. Neither of us did it. He's just lying. I immediately go free, and you immediately go to jail.
Yes.
That is the dumbest prisoner's dilemma nonsense I've ever heard in my life.
It's funny that you bring up prisoner's dilemma, but that'll be funny later.
I mean, this is like the definition right here. Like, it's nonsense. If neither confesses, they get off scot-free. But if one of them confesses, the one who didn't confess goes to jail. Like, that is literally the prisoner's dilemma. This is nonsense. This is not how justice systems should work.
This gets so complicated so fast. So keep up, Sam.
No, I'm already annoyed. This is not whoever came up with.
You're gonna have there's so many good. I almost sent you a text last night. It was very late. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that because there's a line where I literally just had like 50 question marks after the thing I wrote, and I just wanted to like send you a little screenshot of just like that sentence with the 50 question marks. I was like, what does this mean? Like, what is happening?
I'm not saying movies like this or TV shows like this have to be totally faithful to the exact representation of how the justice system works, but they can't be like complete nonsense.
Maybe Korea's different, Sam. We really need a Korean lawyer.
We really do, because if there's some lawyer works on prisoner dilemma rules, then it is a dark place.
I have so many things I can't tell you yet.
Oh no.
So the twins like, why in the world would I confess when not confessing will still get me off? And she's like, what if the prosecutor has evidence we haven't seen yet? And she tells him that only one of...
Wait. If the prosecutor has evidence, if you confess, the evidence points to you're going to jail.
Yes.
So the only way this works is if he believes the prosecutor and the defender are colluding.
Yes.
To suppress evidence, which is extremely illegal.
Yes.
Great. Okay. Let's make sure we're on the same page here, Danielle, before we go into this.
Right. So she tells him that only one of 2 CCTV tapes were submitted, and it looks suspiciously like the prosecutors maybe setting up a trap for them to fall into, where
that's not how evidence works.
The other CCTV.
You have to submit evidence in. You can't go, surprise, more evidence I didn't tell you about.
Apparently not, because there are ongoing investigations while these court cases are happening constantly.
That's not how evidence or anything works. You can't just be like, surprise, new evidence I didn't tell the defender about. Like, this is the whole thing about discovery.
Remember earlier when they did a whole, like, police thing where they went to the school dressed up as high schoolers and, like, got evidence? Like, it does not get better in this episode.
This is a dystopia of like justice applied horribly.
This is what happens when you have your court case like 3 days after the murder or whatever.
Like, I'm not saying we do it well. We have our cases take so long. Justice delayed is justice denied and all that, 100%. But like, there has got to be a happy medium between while the investigation is still going and way too late to be actually useful.
Right. Anyway.
Man, you made me so angry. My blood pressure is spiking.
Now you know how I felt when I was watching this by myself and had nobody to share it with.
Okay, sorry.
I was like, everything makes no sense.
Do Young and Hye Seong need to be disbarred immediately.
Yes. So it gets worse. Back in court, it looks as if the defense attorneys are managing to make anything the prosecutors have brought out inadmissible. Like, it's just, they question the people and it makes them seem like they're not good, witnesses, or they're like, well, what about the XYZ thing? And then it like just
doing their job, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Like this is something they'd apparently be able to do anyways, which is crazy. So what did the prosecutor think she had against them to begin with? But the elder lawyer at their firm says the prosecutor is giving in too quickly and it looks like something might be up. And he thinks it's, drumroll please, the prisoner's dilemma.
So wait, what?
That's what the elder lawyer says.
So he literally says that the prosecutor is somehow setting up the brothers to do the prisoner's dilemma by giving in to everything else too quickly and getting all the evidence
it looks like
struck.
Maybe they're working together somehow. He thinks that something's up.
I mean, he's right, and it should be like an immediate mistrial.
Yep. So basically, obviously, as you said, yes, and maybe it will be. You don't know,
it
Sam.
Won't. It's more like yes, but. I'm not pro-murder, Danielle. I'm pro-justice. And justice can't be served if people aren't given fair and equal representation. I would say it's not being served very well in general in the world by that standard, but that's what we should be striving for.
Right. Well, you're going to have so many thoughts. I don't know. I can't tell you things. I can't tell you what's going to happen. You're going to have more thoughts on this. All right, anyway, as the last piece of evidence is crossed off, Hye Seong's twin is like, she's being eyed by Hye Seong. She's like, this is the time, you're supposed to say your thing. And he's like, we did it, we planned the murder together, he announces to the court.
He just yells in the courtroom, and that's considered the confession? You don't have to look at official statement?
Yeah, he stands up and
under
says,
oath?
Nope, yeah. No, he just stands up and says it.
None of this makes sense.
And the other twin is like, no, we did it! You did it! And Gwan-woo is trying to get some time with his client. He's like, can we have a break, like a recess? I'd like to speak to my client,
please. What if
they
both confess?
We'll find out. Maybe that happens. But the other twin's all up in arms, saying like, there's no evidence. Like, we planned this. What are you talking about? Stop talking. And then they explain the whole law to him. And they're like, and he's like, you're trying to put me into jail. And they agree to set up another court date to do like his trial alone, because now he's the guilty one because of the stupid law.
The very stupid law.
And the twin loses it. And he's like, what happens if I confess too?
Uh-huh. And
Hye Seong and Do Young give each other looks like, aha, everything's going according to plan.
Wait, so if they both confess, they both go to jail because each confession confirms the other person?
Yeah.
That's so dumb. I hate this. This is like the stupid lab where one always tells the truth, one always tells a lie thing, but like applied to court cases. And it just like, and that really screws, like, what if I did the crime. I murdered the guy, right? I really did. Danielle was just there and saw the whole thing go down. And I'm like, Danielle, oh, we did it. It was all Danielle and I, we planned this out together. And you're like, no, we didn't because we actually didn't. But like, then you're stuck because either you have to say we both did it and we both go to jail, or you have to say you maintain the truth that you didn't do it, in which case you go to jail and I go free. It's like a horrible catch-22 situation.
It is.
This dumb law, dumb show.
So they both confess and they're both going to have to go to jail is the summary to the end of this. And
with no evidence against either of them. So this
Correct.
trial concludes that there is no evidence against either party. One was coerced into confessing, which forced the other person to confess, and that is enough to get them both convicted.
Yes.
I hate that. I have never been angry about anything else in any of our media, Danielle. That is
That's impressive. The bar is high.
That is the biggest injustice I've ever heard in my life. I mean, I'm sure they're both guilty, but like, prove it. Like, you have all this evidence. Use the evidence.
Oh, well, we'll carry on because I feel like it gets worse.
All right, sorry. We'll go on. I'm done. But this is the worst application of justice I've ever heard of. And I've enjoyed like comedy law shows like Psych or with Shatner, whatever that one was, and James Spader, and that was like not like great representation of the justice system, but they were better than this.
Yes, yeah, it's a mystery.
Boston
you might
Legal,
remember.
That was it.
You might remember that in the previous episode, there was a random lady that was like crying in the audience.
Was she the wife or the daughter or whoever?
Okay, I'm just letting you know that the random lady's back. She's
Okay,
crying in
but
the
we don't know who
audience.
she is. We don't know anything about her. Great. I thought you were going to tell me more about her, Danielle.
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't.
Okay. Stop saying that. Did anything happen to this episode?
Back outside the courtroom. Yeah, as everything's wrapped up, Hye Seong is feeling pretty good about
Wrapped
herself
up?
when he
It's
like
a
they're going to
mistrial.
jail. It's end. Nobody knows that they work together.
Yeah, but like there are so many shenanigans that like the guy yelling up and yelling in the middle of the courtroom. That would be like an immediate like, okay, this is nonsense. It's not inadmissible. Just yelling things in the middle of a courtroom is not evidence gathering. Not under
I mean,
oath,
they
not
go,
under,
are
like,
you sure? Do you want to continue? Like, they have a whole little thing about it.
still nonsense. There are procedures.
Yeah, it is. There are procedures. Well, anyway, we don't see the end of it. So, assumedly, they wrapped it all up. They tattled on each other, and now they're both going to jail. And so, like I said, Hye Seong's feeling pretty good about, I don't know, creating this system of justice. And the elder lawyer comes up to her.
She feels
I don't
good
know
about
his name.
this?
I'm sorry. Yeah, she feels good because she wanted him to go to jail because he was a murderer.
Oh, she's a terrible defense attorney.
Yes. Yes, she is, actually.
Yes, this is what again. My problem isn't with murderers going to jail. I'm pro murderers in jail or whatever. I am anti defense attorneys colluding with the prosecution to screw over their clients, especially
So is the elder lawyer.
especially public defenders who are supposed to represent the people who have the least amount of resources to help them. They're supposed to be the people who help those who have no other help, and there's like the biggest betrayal of the social contract.
Well, you and the elder lawyer get along really well because it's basically.
I hope he like fires her ass.
He gets really upset at her, and he's like, "Did you ever wonder why they murdered the store clerk?" Which
Does it matter?
Did it not come up in any of the conversations? Like, hey,
For a motive? You need a
why
motive?
did you murder them? Like, was it just because they interrupted your thieving? Or like,
Yeah.
you could have just like, why did you take your mask off and then kill them? It seems very sus.
Because it's a TV show. You always take your mask off when committing crimes in TV shows, as we've learned.
Yeah. So the guy's like, did you ever wonder? And he's like, yeah, they took their masks off for a reason. Didn't you notice the woman crying in the audience? It was for revenge. And instead of being a public defender, you're acting more like a prosecutor. And he tells her what for.
So wait, what was the revenge? Do we have learned the revenge yet or no?
We don't know it yet, but we will hear about it eventually.
Great.
Meanwhile, back at her mom's restaurant, she's closing up for the day, and she happens to see Joon Gook, who's the murderer, looking over photos of her and Hye Seong that are on the wall, like, you know, from being a kid all the way through graduation, being a lawyer. So he's looking at the wall, and he says that they look so happy together. And she asks about his family, and he's like, oh, they passed away a long time ago. And the music
I
gets
murdered them.
mysterious. Yeah, maybe. And prior to leaving that night, she ends up giving him some food she had cooked for him, noting that it was his birthday off of his resume from when he was hired. And he has feelings about this food, but he's murder, so I doubt it's going to help anything. So he's like, oh no, she's being nice to me. Makes me want to turn my life around. Maybe.
So this is another guy whose motivations make little sense because he just had to leave, not bother with this woman again, and he would be completely in the clear to become an assassin or whatever again.
Yeah. I mean, we'll learn more about his history later.
Okay.
At the moment, we don't know anything about him other than he randomly killed Soo Ha's father.
Not random. It seems very targeted. He wouldn't have used a lead pipe if it was random.
Right. Like, he actively went about killing this guy, but we don't know why. We don't know his history. We don't know the dad's history. We don't know anything about Soo Ha's childhood prior to him being, orphaned. Like, or I assume he's orphaned. I don't know if we've talked about his mom.
No, his parents were resurrected after this.
Yeah, it's possible. Meanwhile, back in school, Soo Ha receives a call from Joon Gook, and he records the call this time. And it's the way that he talks to him. It's obviously a threat, but it sounds sort of vague. Like it could be interpreted, little ways, basically.
Mobster speak.
Yeah, and he shows up the police station with this recording and plays it for the two stupid cops that are like the only two cops, I think, in this entire city, as far as I can tell. Definitely the only two we ever meet. And one of the cops is like, that's nothing. He's just wishing you well, or whatever the sentence was that he said. And the other cop thinks, he's like in his head, he's like, I don't know, it kind of sounded a little bit like a threat. And Soo Ha like immediately pounces on that. And he tries to ask where Joon Gook has gone, because he left town.
Sure.
But the cop is like, oh, I don't know. He's like, I wish I had asked when I realized that he was leaving. So this guy has been released from jail. Let's talk
He's on probation.
Ostensibly.
Yeah.
Like apparently he's not. But
and
I guess when you get released
town and they don't keep track of like where he goes.
Yeah. Once you're free, I guess you're just free. There's no checking in anywhere.
Wild.
Even though he's like out on good behavior. Like, what? What?
This justice system is insane.
Yeah, so the cops seem like kind of unconcerned about this, but also nobody thinks it's weird that this guy is calling Soo Ha that murdered his father. Like, regardless of what the guy's saying, good things, bad things, he should have like no contact with this dude. There's no reason for this guy to go talk to this kid. This minor, by the way.
At all. It should be like, that should be evidence in of itself.
He tells the cops if they don't do anything, then he might cause some trouble, like killing him himself, if they're not gonna, like, get rid of him. Dun dun dun!
Yeah, that's gonna really convince him.
Yeah. Back at the law firm, Hye Seong goes to lunch by herself. She's refusing to eat with her colleagues. She's kind of mad at them. But she ends up at
Hye Seong's mad at her colleagues because she screwed them over, was a terrible defender?
She feels like she was in the right because she sent
No, she's not. Absolutely not. And she should feel bad, and she should be punished and fired.
I mean, she's like questioning it a little because the guy was like, it was for revenge. But like, we haven't learned what that all details yet.
And again, the motivation is mostly like, it'll inform like if it's first degree or second degree or manslaughter or whatever that is, but like it doesn't change the fact that they still murdered somebody or that she still needs to defend them properly regardless of the reason they did it.
I'm just shocked that as a defense attorney or even as a prosecutor, but definitely as a defense attorney,
you would think you'd the motive.
Asked if the person's going to like pretend to confess, you think that you would be like, so like theoretically, if you did murder them, why would you have murdered them?
And you think the prosecution would try to establish a motive right off the bat?
And I don't know what the rules are, but I'm pretty sure if your person tells you that they murdered them, you still have to defend them. So.
Danielle, that's what I've said like a million times already. Like,
right.
That's what I've already said. That's not the point.
I'm saying like the kid could just tell her everything.
Yeah, but I guess it's a bad idea because she's probably going to turn on her client the first chance she gets.
Yeah, apparently. Anyways, like I said, she's refusing to eat with her colleagues, but she ends up, of course, going to the same restaurant as them accidentally, and they show up after she's eating. So she's hiding under the table.
Smack about her, like, well, she's so terrible. Yes. Did you hear how she actually stopped defending a client? Like, that's the number one rule being a defense attorney is you got to defend your client.
Kind of like that.
No, that's what I would do, though.
So she's listening to them talk, and she overhears Kwon-woo finally say that he had asked his twin why they committed the murder, which again, he didn't ask either. Like, nobody's asking these twins anything.
God, these people are terrible.
And I guess the twin admitted it was because one of the twins' girlfriends, or depending on the translation, the twins' girlfriend, which I like a lot better because that's very funny.
A nice little throuple, sure.
Yeah, like they're just in this little relationship together. You only see her in them. So the twins' girlfriend was assaulted by the man who own the store. And they went in as a revenge killing, essentially, killing the grocery store owner.
I mean, I get it. Doesn't make the murder okay, to be clear.
No. Obviously.
Also doesn't mean that you should portray them as clients. That should have no weight in whether or not you do your job right as a defense attorney. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. It shouldn't make her feel one way or another. So the elder lawyer asks Kwon-woo if he's mad at Hye Seong for conspiring with the prosecutor. And he, of course, is not really that mad. He just like, well, they're just different. She wasn't wrong necessarily. They're just
he's
like,
wrong.
We can reapproach
He's
it
wrong.
a different way. I agree. So, meanwhile, Soo Ha's heading home from school and his attention gets caught by a man selling stuffed animals on the street corner. And they're the kind where you can, like, record a message, like, squeeze it, say something, and it copies it. And he buys one. And
for
as
the
he's
murderer,
leaving...
he's going to leave it for the murderer saying, "Get out of town."
I know what you did last summer.
Yeah, there you go.
As he's leaving, a pickpocket is running down the street, trailed by the only two cops in the city, and Soo Ha blocks the guy, dodging his knife, and martial arts him to the ground, where the cops manage to get him.
Okay.
The cops, like, pounce on him. The gun for the cop goes wild, and it bounces off on the sidewalk, and you see Soo Ha kind of, like, pointedly stare at it and kind of go to, like, grab it or pick it up or help the cop get it back or whatever. You don't know. It, like, looks suspicious.
These cops are terrible.
Yes. But we knew that from the first several episodes where they did literally nothing about the murderer.
Is there anyone in this show that we like, Danielle?
The mom.
Yes, true. Like her. She's great. The only person I like so far is the mom. And maybe the bullied girl seems like, you know, I kind of on her side of it.
Oh, you totally were on the side of the basketball players. You thought they had a valid...
a valid complaint. Sure, she interrupted their game for 2 minutes. They had the right to go and stalk her and try to beat up her defender. Makes sense to me. I guess I just wish they were in the show more. Any of the people I liked.
I mean, Soo Ha's done some slightly questionable things, but I think he's by far the most likable character. That's like a main person.
That's hard. That's really hard.
I mean, Kwon-woo, I like a lot too. He's mostly good, but we'll get into him.
Yeah, no, I can already tell he's like too blasé about the role his co-counsel played in taking their case.
Yeah, that's fair. So Soo Ha goes home, he meets Hye Seong on the way back to getting to their apartment, and she is off to go take Kwon-woo to a movie because she felt bad about how she treated him and how nice he was to her, and like overhearing him made her feel really guilty.
So a pity date is like what you think is going to make up for it?
Yes, 100% she's taking you on a pity date, and he's very excited about it.
No, these people are terrible. He's like, I'll betray my client as long as I get a date with you. Like, no.
Yes. He immediately gets a glow up with like a new hairstyle and a fancy new suit and new socks. And he stops himself at a store window to like check himself out and practice his hellos. So that's kind of cute.
Sure.
And then he stops at a chocolate store and we get a nice little chocolate product placement. It did look like tasty chocolate, so maybe that worked.
You gotta make money somehow. You know what'd be a really good product placement for this show? Actual law firms.
If you need help, that's not these people.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be like, if you want a defender who's not going to turn on you, choose an actual law firm, not these clowns.
I'm surprised Korea let this TV show go out the way it was, because it shows the Korean justice system is very lackadaisical.
I feel like this could be propaganda, like North Korean propaganda against South Korea at this point, based on how badly it paints the Korean justice. Like, hey guys, this is how terrible it is in Korea. You think you have a bad hair under Kim Jong-un? Like, imagine if you were there and they were just colluding against you or just
and people could just say that you're guilty, and you are.
Yeah, exactly. Remember that it was 90% of the time freedom doesn't come or whatever.
True.
Yeah. You're guilty until proven innocent unless you're innocent until proven guilty, and 90% of the time you don't get freedom. Or that sounds like a North Korean like slogan, honestly. Did we crack this? Do we know who produced this show? Who paid for it?
It's a real possibility.
Yeah.
Back at the police station, the cop realizes he's lost his gun, and he immediately flashes back to Soo Ha, looking at it during the fight.
I mean, I thought American cops were bad, and they are, but was this Gomer Pyle who loses his gun and doesn't realize it?
And he's with his partner, he's like, don't tell anybody, but I can't find my gun. You're just like, how did you get all the way back to the police station before you noticed your weapon was missing, sir?
How do you have enough brain power to breathe Seriously.
I mean, he's the one that, like, came into them, like, he was the one that came up with when the phone thing was happening, and he's like, I don't understand why you're so concerned about a random cell phone being in your house when there's a murder on the loose.
I hate everyone in the show. I want like, all of them to be put in prison for incompetence.
Yeah, well.
That's how the show should end, Danielle. The last episode is them all going to prison, like the end of Seinfeld.
Anyway, he's about to meet up with Gwon-woo for her date, and she gets a call from the cop who tells her that they think that Soo Ha stole the gun and that he's going to go threaten murder Joon Gook because of, events earlier.
Yep. And she has to be responsible for it, I guess.
Well, yeah,
the cops can't do anything about it. The cops can't go find him.
Well, I think they're on their way to his house, but she's the, like, adult, whatever, the person that's picked him up and stuff. She's on his contact list now.
Okay, sure.
She tries to call Soo Ha, but he's in the shower and it goes to voicemail. She gets there just as he's
Soo
coming.
Ha. I'm currently showering, but if you want to imagine me naked and your name is Hye Seong, please do.
Yeah, basically. So she gets there just as he's coming out of the shower and the cops show up and she shoves him in a back room and like wets her own hair pretending she was washing it, and that's why she was like delayed in answering the door while she was trying to get him out of the way. She's like, he's not home, but no worries, like I'll take care of him, I'll make sure he doesn't do anything, I'm certain
that's
he doesn't have the gun.
That's not good enough. He stole a police
not...
gun. That's not like, you can't say, oh, pinky promise I'm not going to murder anybody. That's not good enough, lady.
Yeah, and then the cop tells her, like, actually, never mind, I found it. It was in the car, like, underneath the seat. Ha 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 ha. So sorry. I don't know why I came to your house to tell you that. Like, I could have just called. I don't know why I showed up. It was just for kicks and giggles.
Is that what really happened?
That's what he tells him. He's like, yeah, sorry, we found the gun
is that
underneath
what really
the car
happened?
seat.
Did he really just find his gun under his car seat?
Yeah, he did, as far as I know.
How is this show both a dystopian look at the justice system and the world's worst, like, slapstick Andy Griffith show nonsense?
It's a real mystery. It's like a rom-com with murder, Sam, so that's why.
Yeah, but, like, it's also, it feels like Idiocracy in that it's trying to paint these people as the dumbest people in existence.
I mean, the cops are pretty dumb. I would hope that the show knows that the cops are pretty dumb.
I don't know.
I feel like that's pretty obvious.
I am 50-50 on that, Danielle.
Yeah, well, he found the gun, and Hye Seong chews them out, because she's like, how dare you suggest that he would steal anything? Like, you're so stupid. I can't believe that you can't keep track of your own weapon. Like, she just goes off to him, which is fair. So back in the house, he gives her a hard time for thinking that he would have ever stolen the gun, and like, ooh, are you worried about me? And she tells him she wasn't worried so much that he stole the gun, but that he would use it in revenge. And he has to promise not to, because then he would be just like Joon Gook. He'd just be a murderer.
Unlike the two brothers who murdered for revenge, but we like their revenge murder.
Yes, we support that.
Oh, yeah, okay, thank you, Danielle.
Cut to Soo Ha the next day, heading into a small shop that sells surveillance equipment. And he gives them a phone number and asks if they can track it.
Is he going to make a nanny cam?
Apparently, he's just having a phone number tracked. I don't know if he bought anything else there.
All right. I was say he got a stuffed animal. Is he going to make it into a nanny cam?
Oh, creepy, but sure.
Well, I mean, not for, like, Hye Seong, but
to have
Joon
it in the
Gook.
house.
No, for Joon Gook, like, to, like, somehow get it into Joon Gook's possession.
He doesn't know where Joon Gook is, but
well, he's tracking this phone right now to find out, Danielle.
Yeah, well, maybe. So the next day, Soo Ha walks her to work, and they're met up with by Gwon-woo, who brings her the chocolate from the previous date that never happened. And Soo Ha looks on lividly as they share the chocolate and laugh, and they walk off to the rest of, to the building. Because how dare she date someone her own age? Like, I don't know. And then this is unrelated to anything, but I just thought I should mention it, is that you see a brief scene in the office where they're chatting, and the paralegal is in this pink striped shirt and a green camo tie, which weird choice. Like,
I love
weird
that.
Choice.
I'm now on their side. The paralegal is not my new favorite character.
Oh yeah, actually, if you saw this show, you probably would really like the paralegal. He's by far the best character, and you know the least about him, which I think really helps with this show.
Maybe, here's what happened. He suddenly starts representing the basketball kids in, like, when they go pro, and he's now, like, their manager. Yeah, I'd watch that.
I was just, like, so struck by this shirt. I just kept staring at him. I'm like, you don't even remember what the scene was about. That's how distracting that tie with the shirt was.
Tells you everything you need to know.
Anyway, back to her mom's store. She calls Joon Gook to let him know that her daughter's coming home that weekend and that he needs to go buy some meat. And he's like, oh, she's coming home this weekend? And you see him look out at the security camera across the street. And then he walks towards it. You get a view from the security camera, and he walks towards it, and then it suddenly, like, disappears and it cuts out. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. And so You might be wondering, Sam, what case is going to be next on the docket? Because, every episode has a case.
I don't want to hear
We're done with the twins.
I don't want to hear any more about them mangling justice.
Well, it's good because this court case is really quick because I'm going to summarize it really rapidly because it doesn't really matter. And just the end part matters. And then we're going to get into the actual case. So
there's two
who cares
cases.
What happened this episode?
Sure.
So basically this old man is stealing newspapers. They're free newspapers, but he's stealing a bunch of them because apparently you can turn them in for cash and he needs to pay. He's very poor. He needs to pay for his living situation.
So it's kind of like a bottle return, but he's just taking a bunch
similar. But he's done this multiple times. He's being trialed for chronic theft. And he
Is it
feels
theft if the value is 0?
Well, apparently normally it's just kind of be a write-off situation, but he's done it so many times that it's become this major issue that they're okay, you've been released from jail and within a year you were stealing things again, even if they are free things. Yet there's a whole conversation about it. Doesn't matter, Sam. Summarizing this because the end part matters. So he feels like the court system's out to get him, and Guan-Wu takes the case on unwillingly, but decides to try his best to show the man that lawyers want to work for him.
They should. That's his job. The bare minimum a public defender should do is try their best.
Yeah, he the old man talks trash about all the lawyers and nobody really wants to work with him, but he decides I'm going to show him that it's this system can work for him.
Except if you're Hye Seong and choose to work against them.
Well, he originally was with Hye Seong, and I was well, you're probably just going to end up in jail.
Yeah, exactly.
So it looks bleak for our old man who's facing up to 6 years in prison, but a chance encounter between Soo Ha and the man leads him to find out, of course, because he reads his mind, that the man he stole from, all the newspapers or something, I don't know, I wasn't paying that much attention to the plot, didn't matter. He is actually his third cousin. And by some Korean law, if it's between family members, the case can be dropped if both parties agree. It becomes a personal matter, essentially.
Wait. So he's stealing from someone specifically, and that person isn't pressing charges?
The person is pressing charges. They were really angry about it, and there's a whole backstory as to why, but it turns out that they're actually related, so if they can get both parties to agree to...
But that's how it works anyway with civil cases.
But this has gone outside of a civil case.
Why?
So that becomes because of the amount of times that he's stolen, blah, blah, blah. There's a whole thing in there. Again, I didn't write all this down.
I don't know how this works, Danielle, but if I steal from you, in your house, I steal from you, and you choose not to press charges, and I do it a million times, it doesn't matter if you never try, it's up to you. You're the one withstanding to bring suit against me.
Yeah, but I think there's some kind of limit to that. Or at least there is in Korean law. It may not be, in which case here. The point is, Sam, is that it was outside of civil jurisdiction, and now it's become if they can get the two parties to agree because they're family, it becomes basically a civic issue again, and they can wipe it clean. That's what all you need to know. That's all you need to know, Sam. It doesn't matter because this plot doesn't matter.
I just still, every time some new fact about the Korean justice system is revealed, I just have to comment on how nonsense it is. It sounds
right.
like.
Well, that's why I told you a little bit about this one, but
maybe this is 100% how it works in Korea, in which case I'm sorry, but that ain't right.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter because really the whole point of this is that Hye Seong gets Soo Ha to dress up in a fancy suit to pretend to be her coworker. And so you get to see him in a fancy suit and it's total eye candy because he's a very attractive young man and he gets much more attractive as he ages. He's probably our age by now, but he's probably early 20s in this. And they head to the house of the man he stole from. And then using Soo Ha's mind powers, they manage to get enough information to blackmail the guy into dropping the case, essentially.
Blackmail?
Yeah.
I thought they were just going to convince him, hey, this is your cousin, he's struggling.
Nope, they sure enough don't. They're hey, whoa, they get the conversation going in a certain direction. They're oh, so now we know this interesting factoid about you. You wouldn't want other people to find that out. It's blackmail.
That is not justice. If the dude doesn't want to drop the civil case, that's his right. I'm not saying he's correct or wrong about that, but he has the right to press charges if someone is stealing from him, regardless.
Yeah, well, here we are.
No,
and then
I'm feeling ill.
We haven't even gotten to the bulk of there's a whole back half to the story plot, Sam.
Danielle, I'm so tired. Don't do this to me.
Welcome to my life.
You chose to watch. This is your choice.
So you could be equally mad as I am, and I could be the straight person in this conversation that's like, I don't know why you're so mad, Sam.
You know why I'm mad. You know perfectly well why I'm mad. Misery loves very company, funny. Danielle.
I don't regret this. This is very funny.
Good. I'm glad you're happy.
So at the last possible second, Hye Seong rushes into the courtroom with the legal documentation signed by the guy to drop the case, and Kwan-woo is thrilled, and he hugs her, and hugs her for a particularly long time, which seems to short-circuit her little brain, because I guess she's never felt human touch or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's so sad.
She just is does not know how to react. She's just standing there blinking. After the case, Kwan-woo chases her down outside in the park to thank her and to discuss the hug. And she's like, oh, I'm fine with it. She's trying to be cool about it. And he offers to instead high-five her in thanks. And she's like, sure. And she puts up his hand and they high-five. But as they do, he grasps her hand and he kisses it, asking her to go on a date with him or to date him.
No. A, office romance. B, she's already backstabbed you once and she's going to drag you down with her to the world of bad lawyering. C, you don't just lie to someone and say, hey, I'm sorry I made you uncomfortable with all that touch. Let's just high five instead. And then you go and grab them and kiss them. That's not okay.
Yeah, very non-consensual. It's very smooth. I'll give him full credit for it. The scene is very smooth. However, it is very non-consensual. She just was weirded out that you hugged her.
That's the kind of thing that only works in movies, and in real life it gets you completely slapped or something.
Yeah, it's a choice. So Soo Ha, having agreed to meet up with her after the case, oversees them and of course is heartbroken in his tiny little late teenage heart.
Everything's tiny for you today.
Tiny.
Tiny brains, tiny hearts. I mean, I was with you on the tiny brains because of, what I've seen so far in these episodes, but Soo Ha's got a big heart, it sounds like, and bigger than his brain, frankly.
Yeah, that's probably true. Back at Hye Seong's mom's shop, Joon Gook comes into the store. It's the end of the day. She's getting ready for tomorrow, and he says that he needs to tell her something. And you see him standing there with a large wrench in hand, and the music swells.
I need to tell you that my wrench is broken. I can't fix the sink. I'm so sorry.
Cut to Hye Seong, who is calling her mom, and she's telling her all about her day and how she's proud of helping this old man out and getting him acquitted. I'm proud of
blackmailing that one other old man into dropping the theft charges against the other old man who was stealing from him. That's real good lawyering. I didn't do any... Here's the thing that really upsets me, Danielle.
Mm-hmm.
There is opportunity here for good lawyering. They could have used argumentation. They could have tried to argue with the man about, do you really want to make this guy suffer? Do you really want to punish this poor guy who's just trying to get by on whatever he can? Or whatever. They could have, argued in court, maybe come up with some brilliant legal theory. But this show takes every opportunity to be let's blackmail some guy. Oh, let's collude with the prosecutor.
To be fair,
let's not lawyer at all.
Skipped over the whole section where they did argue all of that. And the judge is there's not a whole lot we could do about it because it's been multiple times. He's met his quota or whatever. And in
which case, welcome to the justice system, I guess.
Yeah. So this was their last ditch attempt to get him off because they felt bad
I still don't think blackmail is the right answer to settle on.
It's sketchy as heck, Sam. That's not I don't know what to tell you.
I would not be bragging about it, is my point. Not to my mother. Hey, Mom, I blackmailed an old man today. Aren't you proud? I don't
think she told her that part.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'd lead with.
Anyway, so she's telling her all about her day. Her mom tells her how proud she is of her, but she needs to focus on her own life too and not just her work life. And she's like, yeah. And it's her mom sounds kind of tense on the phone. She doesn't really notice it because she's just rambling. She's trying to fix her shoe and, all doing her own stuff.
Is this a Terminator 2? Give me the phone. Oh, your parents are dead.
Sure. And she goes,
never mind. All right. Watch Terminator 2, Danielle. It's a great movie.
I've seen Terminator 2 a couple
times. You remember Terminator 2?
I do not.
There you
Not
go.
very
That's
well.
what I'm getting at. Okay.
It's been a minute. I probably was 20 years ago. So she goes to hang up and the scene cuts to her mom. And her mom's all battered, beaten. She has blood on her face. She's tied up. And Joon Gook has the phone to her ear. And as Hye Seong goes to hang up the phone, she yells at her. She's like, no, don't hang up. She's like, Hye Seong, I just want to remind you that an eye for an eye is no way to live, that the whole world will go blind. She says the people who are rude to her are just jealous of her good fortune. She's so fortunate and she can't hate them. She says the people not to be mean to them, but to feel sorry for them. And she has to promise her that she won't hate someone to the point that it'll ruin her life, that life isn't long enough for hate. And her daughter's a little confused, as one would be when you're parent gets all sentimental all of a sudden. But she's like, okay, I promise. And she's like, are you sure you're okay? It sounds like you're kind of stuffy, like you're not feeling well. And she's like, you should go to the hospital, take care of yourself, make sure you get some rest. And her mom's like crying. She's like, I'll be fine. I'll take care of myself. And Joon Gook is clearly annoyed that she didn't like beg for her life or tell Hye Seong what was happening or whatever. They hang up the phone and she tells him that she only feels sorry for him, that his life was so terrible that he's become what he is. And he says, he's like, well, now your daughter's going to live like me, seeking revenge. And she just starts to laugh and she's like, no, I didn't raise my daughter that way. That's literally never how she will be. Like, that's whatever you think is going to happen, that's not going to happen.
Your damage, not hers. She has different damage, where her damage is being a terrible lawyer.
Not understanding her purpose in life until she was able to seek revenge on the child from her childhood trauma.
Her whole purpose is revenge. I forgot. So much for that.
Well, she doesn't know. Her mom doesn't know any of that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, her mother is so wrong, doesn't know her daughter at all.
He screams at her.
Her daughter is a blackmailer, seeks revenge, colludes with the opposition. She's terrible.
Yeah. Well, hopefully she'll become a better person over the course of the show. We're early on, Sam.
Are we? How long is this?
We're like halfway through.
Okay, I'm holding judgment still.
So he starts to scream at her because he's just like angry that she's not reacting, I guess, in the way that he expected her to. And we cut to Soo Ha getting a text from the guy who was checking on Joon Gook's phone number, and they finally got him to click on a text. They'd been like sending him little spam texts trying to get him to like click on the link so they could get his location. And I guess at some point he must have. And he gets the address from that guy and he recognizes that he's like, I think that's where her
Hye Seong.
He's like, I think that's where her mom lives. And he rushes out to confirm with Hye Seong, who is like, yeah, that's where my mom lives. Why are you asking that? And he admits that Joon Gook is there. And then the house phone rings and they both stare at it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Soo Ha picks up the phone and stares blankly at her as she's like asking very shrilly, like, who is it? Who is it? And that's where the episode cuts. I just want to tell you because I want you to appreciate the drama because that's where the ending scene was before the next episode
I thought it would have ended on the phone call, the phone ringing, but that's me.
No, it's just her screaming, who is it? Who is it?
Okay, great. Well, the good thing I'm not watching this, I don't have to wait.
That's true. We continue on.
Yeah.
Cut to a TV in a store window alerting us on the news that a fire broke out at a chicken shop and the owner passed away and the employee sustained damages. And they will be following up with the employee to figure out the precise cause of the fire. You see Hye Seong.
No.
I know. It's actually quite depressing. The show gets very, like, dark in places.
The best character is dead.
I know. And she, like, stole every episode. She's, like, a well-known actress. She just stole every time she was in it. You were, like, all in on her. I was surprised. I'd seen this before, and I, like, couldn't quite remember if the mom passed away. And then I watched it, and I was like, she does die. Like, I was shocked a little bit again. I remember being surprised the first time.
Crazy decision.
Yeah. So you see Hye Seong pass out in a hospital setting of some variety. I guess maybe, I don't know if her mom made it to the hospital or what happened. And Joon Gook asks to have his case transferred to his residential district instead of the district where the restaurant is. And you cut to the mom's funeral service. The judges are attending, and the whiny one, remember the one that, like, let her in?
Yeah.
Yeah, him. He's like a reoccurring character. He's complaining about how the man is being held responsible for arson. So, like, the guy who was, you know, the murderer or whatever.
Gook, yeah.
Yeah, and he doesn't understand why it's in their district, given that it was in a completely different area. And the other judge explains to him that he requested that it be transferred to their district. And he's like, I don't understand that. I don't want to do this case. It's stupid.
Why is everyone in this movie just bad at their jobs? Not movie, sorry.
They all are exceptionally bad at the job, except for the mom, who was great at her chicken restaurant.
And they kill her because she's too good for this world.
She's too good for this show.
That's probably it. She's like, this lady's too expensive. She's too good an actress.
She probably had to go be on another show as a mom.
Yeah.
At the funeral, the elder lawyer asks for none of his staff to be assigned. Like, he goes up to the judges and he's like, hey, can you just do us a solid and, like, not assign it to any of the judges in our little pod? Because, you know, we all know Hye Seong and that'd be weird. And the judge agrees, but asks, like, he's like, that's not normally like you. Usually you're all about, like, you know, everybody deserves their day in court. You're acting like the guy's already guilty. That's not like you. And he's like, well, you know, like, we know Hye Seong, that'd be just, it's wrong. Like, don't make
conflict of interest, yes.
Yeah. So back with Joon Gook, you see him talking to Do Young, the prosecutor in this case. She's assigned.
Of course,
she's the only prosecutor in the entire building, telling her he definitely didn't kill the mom because why would he? He really liked her. He ran in when the fire started to get her out. And again, we need to talk about this murder method, Sam, because...
Sure.
You might remember his last murder, he tried to frame it as a car accident, but then he didn't kill the guy. And then he had to hit him with a lead pipe and, like, kill him. Yeah. And that was a stupid way to kill somebody because his plan seemed to be to get caught and just pretend like it was a car accident, which another great way to be in jail, I suppose.
Yeah, 100%.
Accidentally murdering somebody.
Manslaughter, at the very least.
Yeah. And then his second plan to kill this woman is a fire where he's the sole person and it's somebody that's connected to the original case. And his plan is to, like, pull it out and hope he doesn't get busted for arson or, again, manslaughter. And, like, what is...
If he was trying to frame it as like, oh, it was like a leaky gas line or something was broken in that started the fire, sure, but is he claiming he started the fire?
No, so he's claiming, so everybody thinks it's suspicious, right? Because of the history. But he's claiming that you get into this a little bit later, but I'll tell you now. He's claiming that she was cooking something in the fryer and then she's got a history of like heart palpitations or something and that she passed out, hit her head, explains the wound on her head. And then the fryer like was too hot or whatever and started a fire. That's what he's claiming. And then he tried to rescue her. He's trying to frame himself as like a rescuer.
I got it. And if you could stage it so that the fryer started the fire or whatever, like that's actually not terrible. Yeah, that's actually not a terrible thing. Like the only thing that's really suspicious here is like his connection to the original case. But like if his plan is, oh, I want to like make Hye Seong suffer by doing this murder and she knows I did it, but she can't prove it. That's actually not that's interesting. That's an interesting concept. And if he really was meticulous about this and like set it up so there's no evidence that can point to him. Now, is it smart in terms of like, oh no, you should probably just avoid them altogether from the get-go and you'd be fine. You wouldn't have to be in the situation to begin with.
Secretly kill her. And so, like, not be so...
I think he wants Hye Seong to know, and he wants her to probably defend him and make her suffer by defending him. But what he doesn't know, that Hye Seong doesn't give a crap about her job and will absolutely throw him under the bus if she's assigned to defend him.
Right. Agreed. I think that's probably his plan. But I do question what his big thing is going to be when they're like, so why were you working for the mom of the girl that you threatened, who sent you to jail, and then you, like, verbally said you were going to murder her?
Could he argue ignorance? Like, how does he know? Maybe he thought he saw the wanted sign. It's like, oh, I work for this nice lady. He didn't know she was Hye Seong's.
He could. Does he? Yeah, we'll find out.
Okay. I was on board with him. Like, oh, this is a good plan. Up until the point where he's like, I totally knew this was his mother, and it was a whole plan.
We'll see. Well, you're gonna get into the logistics of this. I promise.
Is it gonna be like, I wanted to make amends for threatening her by helping her mother out?
Maybe. So she mentions that, like, hey, like, what's your plan when you get into court and they ask you, like, why you were working for the mom? And
the prosecutor asked this?
Yeah.
Why is the prosecutor asking him what his plan is you're his advocate? He's like, why would I tell you anything?
Well, I don't know, but he says that it was all a misunderstanding, that the girl he doesn't even have a lawyer present with him, by the way. He's just talking to the prosecutor.
My point is, she is not his lawyer. Like, she should not be allowed to ask him and if I was him, I'd be like, you are trying to put me in prison. Why would I give you any information, any ammunition for your case against me?
Yeah, nope. She's just like interviewing him, like, no big deal.
Crazy. Nonsense.
Yeah. She mentions, it's like I said, he says it's all a misunderstanding, that the girl was mistaken in her testimony, and that he killed the man in a car accident, and she just saw it wrong, and he didn't hold her any ill will, which neither explains why he got a job with her mom. And he completely leaves out the part where he, like, jumped over the desk in the courtroom and, like, threatened
I'll kill you. Yeah.
But Do-young is like, so you're saying you didn't deliberately kill that guy in the accident, that you're just a victim of the system? And he's like, yes, exactly. And she's like, oh, well, that's interesting, because I was the other witness to that crime. You remember how there were like two of us? How awkward were you? Which, honestly, totally amazing reveal.
I mean, good. But also, if I was like, if you were the other witness, why'd you leave your friend hanging out to dry?
Doesn't really matter, though, because she's a secret witness. Like, she knows he didn't realize it was her.
She's the prosecutor. She's going to be gunning for him. It's not like he was trying to convince her to let him off the hook, because she's the prosecutor.
I think she was just trying to, like, get under his skin a little bit to make him nervous.
Yeah, but, like, again, this doesn't change the dynamics of the case at all. The prosecutor's still going to go hard against you. So, like, okay, what are you going to do about it? Relitigate the case that was 10, 15 years ago or whatever?
Yeah, if he had just been cool about it, that would have been an interesting take on it. However, he gets really weirded out by it.
Okay.
Meanwhile, they're loading up prisoners onto the bus, and I guess from the courthouse, I don't know why, but Joon Gook is being loaded onto the bus with a bunch of other prisoners. Are they all in the courthouse being interviewed by lawyers? It's a mystery.
Prosecutors, apparently, without their lawyers present.
Yeah, and Soo Ha just happens to be walking by. He's supposed to be at the funeral. I don't know why he's walking by this bus depot area where they're putting prisoners on, or why there aren't more police surrounding them or whatever. Apparently convenient. He just walked to him, and he runs at him. He races towards him. He jumps him, and several policemen can't hold him off somehow because he's a 19-year-old wonderkin for his athletic martial arts abilities.
This guy's really not helping on his case at all. He's just making himself look bad.
Absolutely. And Joon Gook stares him dead in the eyes, clearly showing him his thoughts or images or whatever. It seems to suggest that he can see images now, so that's new and fun, and love that for him.
We all knew that his powers were nonsense to begin with, Danielle.
And Soo Ha tries to choke him, being how dare you? How dare you? Anyway, after the funeral, Kwon-woo gets assigned to Joon Gook's case. Why, you ask?
Yeah, I thought they asked him simply not to do that.
Because the judge says that he assigned the case to other lawyers, but they all resigned?
What?
Was there a mass walkout of lawyers? Are there these are 3 lawyers in this little office pod. Are there not more than, how many more? There have to be more than 3 defense lawyers, in the entire public defenders.
Also, why would a public defender resign about giving a case to defend? Maybe I really don't want to defend this guy, but again, welcome to the life of being a defense attorney.
It's not specifically suggested that they resigned because of getting assigned this case. Just they left. I don't know, quit their jobs.
It was migration season and all the lawyers went south for the winter. What's going on?
I don't know, maybe it was a translation thing, but I don't think so. I think they just no, they nope, they're not there. They're not going to do it.
You're the only 3 lawyers in the city anymore.
Left. Yeah. Three public defenders. That's all we've got for this entire giant city.
Nonsense.
And again, this, as we mentioned, has got to be a conflict of interest. And they're not only coworkers at this point, but they're also dating.
He is dating the daughter of the victim. He can't be allowed. If I was Joon Gook, I'd immediately step and say, I need to have my lawyer recused for conflict of interest and get a new lawyer assigned to be yes, 100%, go for it.
What you find out is that Joon Gook specifically requested this guy when he found out that they were dating. And the judge was just okay. And he's I think the elder lawyer, whatever his name is, should be the guy who does that because he's the least involved in this, of the 3 of us, he's the least involved. And they're no, because he specifically requested you. And I'm who cares? You can't have
your public defender doesn't get to you
can't, be assigned to you. Now, you don't get to, choose who you get as a public defender. And,
right. And that's one part. You don't get to choose your public defender. You can ask to have them replaced if there are legitimate grievances that you don't think, you have a reason to think that they are not representing you to the best of their abilities. You can, make a case to have a new lawyer assigned, but it doesn't mean you get to, go into the office and be who do I want to pick? Next, America's next top public defender.
And even if you could do that, there has to be a clause about if it's a conflict of interest, which both of those lawyers strongly are. Could he just say that he wants Hye Seong to be his lawyer? Where's the line?
I mean, I'm not as upset about this as I am about the other miscarriages of justice, but it's pretty bad.
It's insane. So this, I feel if you want to put this guy in jail, this would be the perfect time for the prosecutor and the lawyer to work together.
If you're going to collude it already, why not collude some more, right? This is no worse than the other collusion.
This is not how this plays out, which is weird. But Hye Seong tells him she trusts him. She's actually, I'm glad it's you and not the elder lawyer who kind of has it out for her a little bit because he's always kind of strict with her. And she's I know that you're not going to believe him. You're going to know that he's a bad guy, essentially.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. His job is to defend him regardless.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that plays out because wild things happen. Kwon-woo goes to the jail to meet his client, to meet Joon Gook. But oh no, Joon Gook has tried to commit suicide, leaving behind a long rambling note about how he tried to make amends, but his mere presence was a threat. So he had tried to indirectly show his change of heart by getting the mom on his side.
So he faked his suicide in jail as part of his defense strategy?
Yeah, to make him look like he was really guilty about everything that happened.
I mean, sure. I guess it depends on how we decide to fake it. Like, it sounds pretty risky unless he was very confident in his ability to fake that whole thing.
We don't hear, like, exactly what he did, but you do hear from the lawyer later, from Kwan-woo, who's like, you did it during the day so that you'd be found early enough. You didn't do it at night. If you would have done it at night if you were really trying to get away with it. Like, I don't know exactly what he did, but it clear was that he, like, planned something that was not going to progress far enough. Yeah. And then this is where I thought, like, isn't it weird that he took out the camera? Because they, like, directly have him on camera walking towards it and then it disappearing. Because it's brought up later during the case and they're like, oh, like, I can't prove that it's, you know, that he had anything to do with the camera going off. It could have been coincidence.
Apparently evidence in this justice system means nothing because circumstantial evidence is good enough.
Yeah, and what I think is weird is that with the fire, like, he could have been caught on camera rescuing this woman from a fire. There was no reason to, like, take out the camera that was across from the shop. It's not like like it looked in the windows and they could see him.
There weren't cameras in the shop.
Yeah, it's weird. So I was like, you would have had proof that you, like, pulled her out of the fire and were, like, bringing her outside or whatever. Would have helped your case, not hindered.
Look, I'm not a apparently genius murder arsonist, so what do I know?
Nothing, Sam. You wouldn't do this.
Thank you. I'm doing better, thank you.
So Kwan-woo tells him he doesn't believe his suicide note. He thinks it's all fake, that this guy's fake. And Joon Gook tells him
you're a defense attorney, who cares?
that he knew he wouldn't believe him, but he chose him as a lawyer. We can convince Kwan-woo of his sincerity, then it'll make a bigger impact on Hye Seong. So maybe Hye Seong will believe that he's turned over a new leaf too, that he didn't really mean for any of this to happen. Yeah.
Like, this guy is so obsessed with his little revenge plan that he's making the worst choices, which I guess is a good parable, a good message, I suppose.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I guess the court case is going now. I don't know how many days it's been. Could be the next day. Who cares if he had a suicide attempt? Like, this court case is ready for action.
Yeah.
The prosecutor is, of course, Do Young, because like I said, there's only one prosecutor in the entire world, and I guess that's technically a conflict of interest, but nobody knows that she was the other person that saw this murder, so it doesn't matter, as you said. But surprise!
Oh, I'm so surprised.
The court hearing's going. Soo Ha reads Kwan-woo's mind and realizes he's going to declare that Joon Gook is innocent. After he did all of this research, he did, like, his police stuff. He went around to all the, like, shops. You see him, like, writing on his little notepad and doing his, you know, police lawyer.
That's Kwan-woo's job. I mean, not the investigation. That's someone else's job.
Thank you. Like, it's his
job is to argue that, like, hey, my client, the lawyers don't decide the plea. The client decides the plea. The client decides whether they plead guilty or not guilty. The lawyer merely enters the plea and represents their client. How is this so complicated?
Yeah, I can't believe that that's different in Korea. Maybe I'm wrong, but I can't believe that it is. I would assume if the person's like, they wouldn't have put so much effort into trying to tell these people earlier. Like, you should just, you know, say XYZ thing. You should just admit that you're wrong. If they didn't have to, like, the person didn't have to agree with the lawyer.
It'd be insane if the lawyers were the ones who were making the judgment about whether or not someone, like, you can't have the lawyer decide, well, my client says they're innocent, but I think they're guilty, so I'm going to enter a guilty plea.
Like I can't believe it's different. So I don't know. They're all like, the whole audience reacts, and Hye Seong's like, oh, how dare he? Like, and I'm like, it's his, like you said, it's his job.
What? Are these people all brain dead? Like, do they have brain worms? Like, because I don't understand how this is somehow not understood that the prosecutor chooses what charges to bring, and the defense attorney simply represents a client based again, maybe Korea doesn't have an adversarial justice system. Maybe their justice system works in entirely different ways I simply cannot comprehend. But it sounds absolutely insane, is all I'm going to say.
And at first, when the scene was playing out, I thought, like, maybe Soo Ha is reading his mind and he thinks the lawyer, like, believes in Joon Gook. Like, yeah, I actually think this guy is innocent. And that's what he's trying to tell Hye Seong. And I'm like, that would be more shocking, right? Because Hye Seong was like, absolutely. I believe in you, like, whatever. But that is, like, they're barely communicating because it's in the middle of a trial, so they're not, like, talking or anything. He's just giving her, like, little symbols with his hands and stuff to, like, tell him what's happening. And so once this is all revealed, it plays out like they're just surprised that he decided to go for an innocent plea. And I don't know why anybody's surprised by that. So this whole scene didn't make sense to me. What other plea would he enter?
Would he enter, like, a guilty plea? Or what? Like, what's in between guilty and not guilty?
Yeah, he's like, no, I didn't murder the woman. I rescued her from a fire. Like, that's been his stance all along. I don't know why everybody was surprised by this. It's a very weird scene.
This makes so little sense.
I know.
hate it.
It doesn't actually matter because like the court thing wraps up and Kwan-woo's in the hall with Hye Seong and they're having a big argument. And you find out that yes, apparently after all of his research, Kwan-woo does believe that Joon Gook's like turned over a new leaf. He insists that there's no evidence that he did anything wrong. And then he like tries to talk her into forgiving him, which
okay.
Like
what?
I know.
This is outside. Stay in your lane, buddy. You are not her therapist. You are not to be involved in this.
0%. It's been like, they didn't even go on an official date. It's been like one day of dating. So you don't have any like emotional like connection to be like, hey, like, let's talk this through.
Also, again, what he believes or doesn't believe should be a non-issue because say with me, his job is to defend him regardless.
Right. But it is an issue to Hye Seong, which I get. This is like their own personal conversation.
I get that. And this is why you don't let the lawyer dating the other lawyer defend the guy who murdered her mother, maybe.
Right. And it's fine if that's what you think. You've done all this research. But I also think the part that's crazy to me is not so much that he believes that maybe this guy is innocent of this specific murder and that he's turned over a new leaf.
Say he is totally a good guy.
Yeah. And like, you should believe in him. You should try and give him a second chance. And she's like, no. And he's talking this conversation in front of her and Soo Ha, whose father was murdered by this guy. And he's like, come on, just give him a second chance. I'm like, that's where the line is. Like, don't go. You can say, okay, I think maybe I believe maybe he didn't commit this murder and I'm so sorry about your mom. But like, you can't say, I also think you should give it. You're not allowed. That's not your thing.
No.
That's not.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, you crossed the line.
I was kind of on his side about like, you guys are jumping down his throat for no reason, but he quickly disabused me of any notion that he was innocent in this.
It's insane take. And so Soo Ha gets really angry and punches him, which,
Good.
I think he deserved that.
Yeah, fair enough. The people who really deserve to be punched are the freaking judges or whoever who assigned these lawyers to this case.
Yeah. Okay, it gets crazier. Keep up. So after the argument, Kwan-woo goes back to his office and he picks up the phone and he makes a phone call and he's talking to another court system on the other line and he requests the record trials from 10 years ago.
Oh, what? Okay.
Because he hasn't
sure.
looked at them yet.
Even though you gotta forgive this guy.
They're at court. And his murder, potentially murdering the mom from the girl who put him in court, or to put him in jail from 10 years ago, and you didn't read the old court files.
As a lawyer, even if you believe he's innocent, as a defense attorney, your first job should be to familiarize yourself with your client's history and see, what is the prosecutor going to bring up against him? Because if you're any kind of good prosecutor, you say, oh, he has murdered before. He was convicted of murder before. He has murdered again. That is an obvious line of attack by a prosecutor. So as a defense attorney, you would want to, be familiar with that, I think.
Yeah, and it's not even just a random murder that's unrelated. It is a related murder to this specific case that you're trying, and you haven't read the court. I
don't care about that because related or not is kind of irrelevant. The point is whether or not the prosecutor is going to use that. As a lawyer, you have to get all the information. You have to be able to defend against all the lines of attack.
Before the court case started. Why is he doing it now and not before they went to court? Because it was 6 hours. I know.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He had literally no time to read it. I forgive that.
I forgot.
I didn't have any time to do it. But that doesn't excuse him then trying to push Hye Seong to forgive him without actually getting all the facts first.
And just insanity all around. I'm so angry at him. So back at her house, Hye Seong is stress cleaning, which, fair. And she tries to kick Soo Ha out of the house, telling him it's safe to go home since Joon Gook's locked up and get out of here. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be around anybody. She's just having that moment. And he refuses to leave. And he's like, just tell me what you're feeling. I can tell, I know what you're thinking. Just say it to my face. And she's like, I'm angry at you because you're the reason I'm involved in all of this. My mom's dead because of the court, having to be involved in your court case, essentially.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's fine. You can yell at me all you want. You can yell at me all day. I'm going to help you clean up. That's what we're going to do. I'm not leaving. You can yell at me while we clean. So they make up.
Bro needs boundaries. Bro needs to respect her boundaries.
I think he was, probably because he can read her mind. He realized she really did need somebody there.
Okay.
She calms down pretty immediately and they make up and they start cleaning the house together.
I guess I'm still not so on board with the reading people's minds and deciding what they want without telling them.
I'm not sure he can help himself. I guess maybe he just looked constantly at her chin instead of her eyes. I mean, I don't know.
My eyes are up here, Danielle.
I don't know how you would, if you can read somebody's mind the minute you look them in the eyes, I guess you get really good at not looking them in the eyes.
Or I guess you could try to ignore it, but I guess that's true. That's tricky.
And she probably doesn't want to wear sunglasses 24/7 in her own house.
I mean, I would, Danielle. Look, you're the coolest person in the world. Cool lawyer. You'd be the cool lawyer.
Anyway, the next day, Hye Seong talks herself into going to Do Young's home. She's like, I need to talk to her. I need to figure out what the game plan is, essentially.
Why? Why does the uninvolved public defender need to be involved with the prosecution?
Because it's about her mom's murder, and she just feels
doesn't matter. She shouldn't be involved at all.
I'm not saying it's a good decision. I'm just saying she's making it.
Okay.
So she goes to Do Young's home, and she's having flashbacks about how she used to live there, and her mom burning books beside the judge's house, of course, as you remember.
How could I forget?
And Do Young comes out, and they start to chat, and she agrees that the evidence does look circumstantial against him, and there's a good chance that he's probably going to go free, and she doesn't want him to go free either, but it's just there's not really anything that.
Oh, now they care about the law.
Yeah. And Hye Seong gets on her knees, she drops to her knees, and she starts to beg her to manipulate the evidence, which is pretty much fine. This is exactly the same case as the twins, as far as I can tell.
No, how is this exactly the same case, Danielle?
I just mean that, you might as well manipulate the evidence. You did it before. What stops you from doing it now?
I mean, the way they manipulated the evidence wasn't, doctoring it. They just didn't admit it, or she didn't contest it being stricken from the record.
I just feel like there's a plan. I mean, they could figure it out.
I'm saying, Danielle, I'm not saying that's wrong. Again, I was very upset about that and think it's still nonsense, but I think it's a different beast to fabricate evidence or something that isn't there, as opposed to just
think so, but
pulling
here we
some
go.
meter trick. Yeah, okay. I'm just saying, I think it's different. Not better, just different.
So Hye Seong swears she'll do anything that Do Young wants. She'll apologize to her. She does, she'll do literally anything. And the judge pops out, the creepy judge that he is.
Oh, I don't like him.
And he's like, is your apology sincere? Because you might remember he was a huge jerk face about the firework incident, knowing that his daughter was lying and still trying to make them pay for it. And Hye Seong mentally apologizes to her mom. You hear her voiceover, and she's like, yeah, my apology's sincere. I'm sorry for everything that I did.
Yeah, of course.
And he brings them into the house, and he suggests...
Why is he involved?
I don't know.
So he's a judge now going to teach them how to manipulate evidence?
Yes. 100% what's happening.
Everyone sucks.
We already knew he was a bad judge. So they're all sitting around, and he suggests that they create more evidence. And he suggests talking to Joon Gook's cellmate in prison, because there may be some kind of something that they could do there.
That's not creating more evidence. That's just investigating more.
Yeah, but they're suggesting that, he's low-key suggesting, maybe there's something you can give the cellmate to turn on him, or, say something. If there's nothing there, maybe you could make a deal kind of thing. He doesn't specifically say that, but that's, the gist of the conversation. And he asks if they've talked to him yet, and Do Young's like, oh, we haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. And, again, why are these court cases happening where nobody's talked to, anybody?
You need to prepare a case. You don't just go in and wing it. You prepare
That's exactly
a whole
what they're doing.
Nonsense.
Yeah, they've got zero evidence on any of these people. So the judge suggests getting the cellmate basically to lie on stand because murderers should go to prison, and Hye Seong agrees kind of unwillingly, but she's in on it because she wants to revenge her mom's murder. Sure. And Do Young she goes to the jail and she meets with the cellmate. And you might remember that his cellmate is the friend of the elder lawyer who they meet sometimes at the jail. Okay, well, I mentioned it in passing. It's not that important, but he is the elder lawyer.
You mentioned it this episode or the previous episode?
No, previous episode, the first episode about this probably. So the elder lawyer was his lawyer back in the day when he originally went to jail, and they've stayed friends over this last 20 years.
So you're saying they're going to his old cellmate from the first case, not his current cellmate?
Yes, his old cellmate. Yes.
That's from the first. No, that's go to his current cellmate and see if he say, oh, he told me in private, and this do an Andy Dufresne in the Shawshank like where the guy's like, he told me that he actually did it, and the other guy got blamed, and then they, obviously that
maybe he doesn't have a current cellmate. I don't know, Sam. They went to the one that he was with
why
for
would his old cellmate matter? He doesn't matter. Like, he's like, what's he gonna do? Like, yeah, 10 years ago he told me he was guilty of the crime he was convicted of. Good job, guys.
No, they're trying to just like get it on record that he planned to like hurt the family, their family, Hye Seong's family.
Fine, sure, nonsense, but okay.
Okay, and also because we've like built up this jail guy, I just kind of skipped a lot of that because it's not that relevant right now.
We built them up, sure.
This jail, like the cellmate is like, you see him multiple times throughout this series because he's friends with the elder lawyer. And you have not mentioned him since
the first episode.
Because it's not relevant until now, Sam.
Okay, but my point is, he hasn't been built up very much if he appeared once in the first episode and never since.
I just said it one time since I was on record that he existed as a human being, and now he's relevant. And even though you've seen him multiple times chatting to the elder lawyer. You can't expect
me, though, to have the same amount of like, oh, yes, he's so relevant as you do.
He starts becoming relevant now, Sam.
Okay, great. Can't wait to see how relevant he is.
All right. So he meets with them, and she basically suggests that she can help him get out early and find his long lost daughter. He hasn't seen in 20 years because he's been in prison, depending on what information he might have. Hint, hint. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And
sure, I got it.
So we cut to the next scene. The elder lawyer's meeting with that same cellmate for their weekly get-together, and he's very sus on the whole thing. He's suspecting kind of like what's going on. And he somehow thinks that Hye Seong is to blame for all of this, which technically she is.
Yes,
but
100%.
But she's also, like, as far as he knows, has been completely uninvolved in this case. So I think that's kind of a giant leap and not just blaming the lawyer somehow.
To be fair, the lawyer and the judge, and I have to go along with this, but also, like, she's clearly proven that she has no boundaries or ability to be a good lawyer.
Yeah, she's on his bad side for good reasons, I think.
That's what I'm saying.
So he ends up meeting her, like, outside of the courthouse or something, and he basically, like, lays it on her and is like, hey, you have to, like, trust in the law. You're a lawyer. This is the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, because the law isn't working for victims. Like, and she goes through, like, I'm not allowed to even talk to him about why he would do this. There's no way this guy's going to get a guilty verdict. Like, this isn't fair. This isn't fair for victims of crime.
She has no room to talk about the law not working for people when she has actively undermined it to every extent she could just because she felt like she knew better than the law.
Yeah, well, here we go, Sam.
I'm just saying, I don't buy her, right? Like, it would have been interesting if there's like, yeah, this is a situation that is, you have been a stalwart defender of the law, you've done your job well, you have dedicated to yourself, and now the system is failing you. That would be a hard thing to be like, I believed in the system, now I see that it is failing me, and how do I react to that? But that has not been what's happened to this show.
I love that the show just goes in like completely random directions. Like, you're like,
That's
wouldn't it make sense that she decided to become a lawyer to like revenge her? Nope, just kidding. She has no purpose in becoming a lawyer. Like, wouldn't it be interesting if, nope, just kidding, she decides that she's just a victim now?
It is absolute nonsense. Like, this whole speech would be something that would make her indignation would make sense if she had any morals or compunction or any aptitude at being a good defense lawyer or cared at all about defense lawyering. But she doesn't. So like, oh, the system I've undermined and belittled and don't really care about is not working the way I wanted to. Ooh, I'm so angry about who cares, lady? You don't have no room to talk.
Okay, but you're rooting for the main character because she's the main character. But I agree, she's not that likable.
You can say anyway. I can root for her. I'm not going to do it. I'm rooting for the basketball hooligans. As we know.
Well, they're going to help revenge. So she storms off, finishes up the conversation. She storms off. Back in court, the cellmate says that Joon Gook stated that he was out for revenge. That's like, he's like, yep, that's what he told me. He said he was going to murder them. And it feels very like overplayed when he announces it. He's like, yeah, he said he was going to kill Hye Seong or whatever.
Sure, fine.
So that comes from the prosecutor when she's asking him all his questions. And then Kwon-woo gets up there and he's like, would you describe Joon Gook as an intelligent person or like a bunch of different descriptors? And he's like, no, yeah, I think he's pretty smart. So why would he do something so stupid and rashly? Why would he tell you that he's going to murder somebody? Like, how does that make any sense for somebody that you describe as intelligent? And the witness tries to back it up and then ends up talking him in circles, and he admits eventually that he lied.
Okay, great. So now the prosecutor is looking bad.
Yeah. And also, I guess he didn't want to see his long-lost daughter that much, because that held up approximately 3 seconds.
Yeah, everyone's motivations in this show are nonsense, Danielle and
He could just kept saying, he didn't have to, like, back it up. He could have just kept lying.
And
he
also,
already lied.
It's not his job to, like, psychoanalyze Joe. Like, I don't know. Ask him why he told me that. That's not my job to be like...
No, he was an unprepared witness, let me tell you that. They could have prepared him for this. These lawyers
suck. If you're going to, like, coach this witness and tamper with them, then at least do it right.
Yeah, wild. So... Soo Ha reads the judge's mind and sees, of course, that he's going to acquit him. And Joon Gook looks at him and mind speaks to him that when he gets out, he's going to go after both of them next. That's his plan.
Why? Why just get away now? You're done.
I feel like you've revenged. You killed her mom. That's terrible. She'll be upset the rest of her life about it. You did a great revenge. You don't need to also kill both of them. This dude just wants to end up in jail.
Isn't it a worse revenge to let her live with that rather than just, like, killing her?
Yes. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you've done
Dude sucks at revenge.
The best revenge. You've done it. You got away with literal murder. Like,
I'm
go
not
away.
Like, pro-revenge, but again, if you're going to do something, do it right.
Yeah. It's just absolute wild take. So Kwon-woo shows up at Hye Seong's house after the trial. She's asleep, and Soo Ha goes out to meet him, like sees the text on her phone and goes out to meet him. And Soo Ha, I don't know, in a turnaround, throws him a little bit of bone and is like, hey, man, like, she likes you. She's just really angry at you right now, and she's hurt. Wait it out, and I think she'll probably come around. You just have to be supportive and be there for her. And Kwon-woo is like, yeah, you're probably pretty upset too about my stance on this whole situation. And he's like, oh no. I appreciate what you like. He's like, nope, I appreciate what you did. Thank you so much. And he bows to him and then walks off. Soo Ha's voiceover as his smile drops. And he's like, thanks for giving me a chance. And we assume to do revenge because, of course.
Or a chance at Hye Seong because, like, clearly he's blown his chance to get with the girl.
Yeah, that could be it. We'll find out. The next day,
Will we?
Maybe.
You have the least conviction of any episode so far. Every time you say something, you're like, I'm not sure what I'm saying.
That's because everything's nonsense, Sam.
Okay, but you should still know what happens.
I don't know what happens past this episode, and it's almost wrapped up.
All right, let's finish it up then.
Okay. The next day, he straightens the house. Soo Ha, he's like cleaning up. He does a few minor chores that have kind of, you can tell it like he's just been ignoring. So he gets it all together, and then he gathers his bags, and it looks like he's leaving the house. He heads out of the house. And then it's very like ending scene. Like he walks out the door closes, he's got his bags. In a very confusing twist, he then shows up at Hye Seong's mother's like urn space. I don't know what those are called, but it's where like the urns are stored in the place.
Mausoleum?
And the graveyards? Yeah, sure. And
I don't know.
It's like
guessing.
wall full of urns, and hers is in there. And Hye Seong's there and talking to her mom. He invites her to go to the aquarium, which they've attempted to go to multiple times. Apparently, this is the least populated aquarium ever. There's nobody in this aquarium. I don't know if they just caught it like at a good time or like just fish. They're in that tube with a fish swim, like the
Yeah, I love those tubes.
Yeah. He says he likes it because it's so quiet there, because it's just like him and the fish, and apparently no people. And he tells her that he packed up all his stuff and he's leaving the house, and not to worry because Joon Gook isn't going to bother her again. He saw it, quote unquote. Joon Gook's planning to leave or whatever. And it freaks her out that he's acting like they're never going to see each other again, because he's just being very final about everything he says.
It'd be better if you didn't.
Yeah, he's like, I'm on my senior year. I've got to focus on my studies. But he wanted to let her know what he saw in Joon Gook's thoughts. And he wanted to tell her that he saw her mother and that her mother was proud of her until the very moment she died.
Aww.
I know, it's sweet. You see a flashback of Joon Gook trying to like get a rise out of her mom, telling her that he's why he's obsessed with her daughter. And the mom cries and says she never realized that her daughter had that much courage, because she had never heard that story about her going into court. She didn't know that her daughter did that.
What? She didn't know? What?
Right? I said that last time, Sam. She never found out. I don't know. I guess the underage person could just talk in a court and it never comes out, even though it was a well-known trial and made the newspapers.
That's like, her mom doesn't know her at all. They never talk. If you told me about this, like, it'd be like, oh, are they estranged or whatever? Because it seems like they don't have any idea who each other are.
Yeah, it's truly impressive. Her mom always believes in her. You're supposed to get the idea that she's got a lot of, like, courage and conviction deep inside her soul.
Yeah, conviction to distort the law for her own needs.
Yeah.
I am the law.
So the mom starts to cry and says she never realizes her daughter had that much courage, and had she known, she would have complimented her more and told her how brave she was. She was always too harsh with her words. She would have done things differently. And I'm going to be honest, I had a really hard time taking this scene seriously because you are because there's this very inquisitive turtle in the background that's like floating behind them in the little bridge thing, and it's just the tunnel. Yeah, and it's just like chilling behind him, like, ooh, cool people. And I was like, that's sad, but also look at the cute turtle. It's a big old honking turtle too. It is like, it's not tiny, Sam.
I get it's a sea turtle, Danielle. I know it's until they get big.
Absolutely adorable. Anyway, I was loving the turtle. I was sad when it swam off.
Oh no.
So Soo Ha tells her to forgive Gwan-woo, that he didn't know any better and she really likes him and like she could build a good life with him essentially. But I feel like it might be hard to like the lawyer who got your mom's murder out of a jail sentence.
That is quite the thing.
Yeah. So he goes to walk away, but as he turns and is walking down the tunnel, he starts to cry, and then he suddenly turns back around, strides back quickly to her, and tells her there's one more thing that he wants to tell her before he leaves.
What he has to tell her is that turtle and I are running away together.
Yes, he's telling her about the turtle, and also then he kisses her very briefly.
Oh.
And then he walks off,
Less
and
cool.
She looks like she's in shock.
I like that less.
Yeah. Cut to some future date. Hye Seong's in the hospital. She's in a hospital bed. The doctor is telling Kwon-woo that she's been in a coma the last 3 days due to a hemorrhage from a stab wound. Dun dun dun.
Who could have done it?
Find out.
Do we have to?
No, not today. Sorry, everybody.
All right. Well, that's another episode that I'm going to have a lot of trouble summarizing.
Right, it was all over the place, that episode.
Yeah, so thank you for that, Danielle. Appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime. I was going to end on the kiss, because that's where the episode ends, but I thought I'd give you the intro to the next one.
I appreciate that. I was like having a little extra teaser. I'm just a little, like, whiplashed about the absolute horrible lawyering and, like, comedically bad decisions they make, and then suddenly the dense murder arson plot.
Crazy. The show had, like, it doesn't tonally feel that out of place, but it like, when you're watching it, it kind of feels like that sort of show. There's not, like, a ton of humor or anything in it. There's some, like, happier parts, obviously, but it's definitely more drama than comedy. And it has, like, kind of that slight dark vibe to it. But yeah, there's just a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm still very angry about how bad of a lawyers they are and how horrible the justice system appears to be.
Well, it makes you feel better. If my recollection holds, the next few episodes take a sharp left turn into, like, something different.
I don't know, Danielle. I'm not liking it any better, I'll be honest.
There's less lawyering in the next few episodes.
Well, good, because that's probably their weakest part of their job as lawyers. Their better parts are being investigative journalists.
They're pretty good at that, actually.
Yeah. I mean, they're not good at applying the law, so maybe they should stick to what they're good at.
Being high school students.
One of the high school students, and we never see him go back to school once. Has he dropped down as full-time lawyer sidekick?
Okay. So, we do occasionally see him go to school. I skipped a lot of those scenes because they're irrelevant. But you do see a scene right before he leaves the house where the teacher's like, he's had a lot of absences. So, they are.
I bet he has.
And then he's, like, apparently going to leave school or whatever he's going to do now when he, walks off with his bags. So
that's fun. All right. Well, that's certainly an episode. I'm dreading the next one, frankly, at this point. Every new episode, I was so exhausted halfway through this already about, like, how angry I was. Like, I just can't. I've gone past the point of anger.
You were such a high point of anger in the first, like, quarter of this episode.
It was infuriating.
That rage will never sustain you.
I quickly passed into resignation after that.
Yeah, you, like, burned hot and fast there, and it was out. You're gone.
I mean, I stand by it. That, I think, the twin brother saga is thus by far the worst lawyering and application of the law in the story so far. Like, them trying to bribe the guy to testify against him, that's bad. But, like, that law about the brothers and the prisoner's dilemma is nonsense. And the way they went about manipulating it, also nonsense. So it's like a double nonsense sandwich. I feel like I got angry at the right point. If I'm going to burn myself out being angry, that was the right time to do it.
That's totally fair. It's a crazy plot.
I hated that. And it wasn't even necessary. Like, they're irrelevant. They're just the case of the week that goes away.
That's why It's so funny.
Awful.
I love their cases of the week.
Ugh, I'm going to miss those now that we're all Joon Gook all the time.
For a while, anyways.
What do they finish him up? Like, well, the story's not over yet. We're going to go on.
I don't know. I think I only got to my rewatch. Remember when I just started? Because I decided I was going to do this for the podcast. I only got like 3 or 4 more episodes from where I am now before I like got completely sidetracked and decided to do it for the pod. So I don't know what happens.
You're useless to me, Danielle.
We're learning it together, Sam, like your reread of Hyperion.
I do not like learning this way.
Yeah, well, welcome to my life for years with you.
Hey, that was a classic.
So is this in the different circles.
Is it? This sounds like, again, I think we've concluded this is North Korean propaganda. Is what it is.
This is a well-known Korean drama, and partly
it's a well-known, very successful North Korean propaganda, yes.
It's specifically, I think, well-known because it's one of the vehicles for a young, like, the actor that plays Soo Ha. It's like one of his kind of bigger roles that kind of launched him into stardom. So I'm pretty sure that's why this is well-known.
A North Korean asset that quickly infiltrated the Korean
We're sorry, culture. Korea. That's, I'm sure not true. Don't come after us.
I mean, I don't think that's true, but I'm still on the fence about this whole show being North Korean propaganda about how bad the justice system in South Korea is. Like,
that's entirely possible.
I haven't seen anything yet to dissuade me of that.
I have seen, as I had mentioned in my first episode, I have seen other law dramas since then, and this is by far the worst in terms of sheer nonsense.
That gives me some confidence in the Korean justice system. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't always understand what's going on. I'm like, that doesn't seem right, but this feels particularly wrong, this whole series.
That's fair. Well, I can't wait until next time, Danielle, to be equally confused and maybe even angrier somehow.
That'd be a high bar, but we might cross it.
I believe in you.
I believe in this show, too. Not just me.
No, not the show. To you, Danielle. I believe in nothing anymore. You've destroyed my faith in humanity and justice.
That's okay. Didn't take much. Took like 9 episodes of a Korean drama.
It was already pretty much hanging by a thread, Danielle, let's be honest. But anyway, if you out there want to reach out to us and tell me why I'm wrong about that twin prisoner dilemma, and I would love to see you try to defend it, you can try to do so at bookretorts.com.
You can also blue sky us at Book Retorts.
And if you want to fund our new venture, which is the Defense Lawyer's Defense Lawyer, where we have to defend these defense lawyers from their bad defense lawyering, you can do that at patreon.com/bookretorts.
We can do that with 0 law school beneath us. I feel like we already law better than they do.
We already law better than they do. Great. That proved the point. Great. That sentence gave us confidence. We law good. We law good for you.
Is that not what we do?
I would love to see like a billboard with like the Sam and Danielle law firm. We law good, so you law good too.
Somebody would call Sam. I don't like.
Yeah, but they would. I would call us to say like, what do you law good for? Like, we law good for you. If we don't law good for you in 30 minutes or less, your first consultation is free. All right. Well, anyway, think about that if you want to support us, I guess. Put that out in the world.
Rousing endorsement.
If someone does send enough money, I will buy a billboard and put that on it, I swear.
I feel like we should give a shout out to the fact that a lawyer, not our lawyer to be clear, did message us.
We don't know if we might need one.
Did message us back on one of our questions, and I was very excited about that.
Yeah, you're really like, oh, if we need help, we know where to go.
So thank you, lawyer.
Appreciate that. Oh, we need so much help, Danielle. I am so lost in the weeds in this episode. Like, remember that movie out in the grass or whatever, in the tall grass, whatever it was?
Yes, in the tall grass, the Stephen King movie.
Yeah, I've not been so mired in, like, I never felt so lost in a plot since that movie.
Yeah, that was fair. I was a little lost in that plot, too.
Yeah,
I think the plot was meant to be lost in. That's
my point. Is even I've gotten to the point, like, oh, I'm, like, putting this up on the same level as in the tall grass. So, well done, Korea. I'm impressed.
As we should be.
Anyway, until next time, please don't request the murder victim's daughter's boyfriend to be your defense attorney. It's just a bad idea for everyone involved.
And don't be the judge that allows that. Let's be specific.
Seriously, yes, thank you. Thank you. If all your lawyers resign, wait a month and hire another one. It's okay.
Like, what is happening in this public defense system?
Nonsense is happening, Danielle. Not a bit of sense is present. Well, until then, bye.
Take care, everyone. These ants are everywhere right now.
These ants, they come from pants. They make you want to dance all around. Ants in your hair. How they ever get there? Don't want ants on the ground.
Yeah. Good job. I'm impressed. Great song.
I mean,
10 out of 10.
I was focused more on the rhyme scheme than the melody, I'll be honest.
I was impressed.